Yeah, we see it.
And now?
Yeah, now it's good. Now it's yeah,
All right.
first slide. So, um, thank you everyone for coming to our amazing, thrilling, engaging workshop. It's going to be about and its whole focus is going to be about the strategies to combat the Great Resignation in the workplace, and we will touch on some topics of employee well-being benefits as well. This workshop has been created by the group of five people, which is Dennis, Thomas, Nikita, Daniel, and Huyen for the class IB2E1. Next slide, please. So first things first, this is a little overview of how we structured the workshop. The first activity I'm going to take on, which is the icebreaker, and I've prepared a little activity of Never Have I Ever, which is going to last for 10 minutes. Then it's going to be the theory, which Daniel will present subsequently to that, and following up with and without well-being benefits. Next up is the activity made by Thomas, which is a role-playing exercise. We will have a 5-minute break in between. Then we'll provide and discuss the problem statement, the case study, which Huyn is going to present. And in the end, we're going to have a quick HRM quiz, which has a couple of interesting and engaging questions, which is also made by Dennis. We'll wrap things up with closing remarks for 3 minutes and questions in the end if anyone would like to add something of their own. The total workshop amounts to 60 minutes, and if anyone can stay up to that time, it will be much appreciated. So I would like to begin our workshop with the first activity, which is a Never Have I Ever game. First question that I would like to ask is never have I ever, well, it's not a question, it's an activity. So yeah, first things, never have I ever resigned from a job without giving notice. Has that ever happened to you guys? Has anybody experienced that in their professional field whilst working for someone or for themselves?
Please leave your answer.
No, I've never had that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, of course. Just let us know if someone has encountered that.
And can you repeat the question for me, please?
Yeah, the question is, well, the statement is, never have I ever resigned from a job without giving notice. So, like, you breached the contract, you resigned from a job without notifying the specific personnel within the company that needed to be notified. Has that ever happened to someone?
No, this never happened to me.
Okay.
Are we supposed to write it or are we supposed to speak it? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Anything works. Well, if you say something, it's better, I guess, for the workshop theme. Yeah.
No, I've never breached my contract. I mean, that'd be illegal, no? I mean, I get in trouble.
Yeah, but maybe of some personal circumstances, something that happened in your life where you had to like actually resign from a job without letting no one know.
No, luckily not. Luckily, I've only had one job so far, so I quit that pretty much 3 months in advance. So yeah.
Okay,
Plenty
cool.
of
So
time.
that's not something that concerns a lot of people, I see here. Yeah. So
I had an experience where I resigned from a job because I found out that I was gonna get fired. So instead of getting fired, and that would be very bad on your CV, I resigned from the job myself. That's my experience.
but you have notified, of course.
How did you find out that you were gonna get fired?
Well, because you know how rumors spread through a company, and then the rumor was spread that I was not the person for my job. The job was at the moment at the Albert Heijn, and they didn't like my behavior for coming too late and not respecting their work ethics. So I did resign myself. So I never have been fired officially.
Yeah, but have you like before you resigned, have you given notice to the HR department within Albertine or no?
No. I just resigned.
Just like that.
No.
Had you had any legal consequences because of it or no?
No. I mean, it's Albert Heijn, so I don't think Albert Heijn really brings that many problems with them when you will resign. I don't think they will put the time and effort in that to do so. So yes, that's
Okay, that's fair enough. I see someone. Oh, that's your account, right? So you've typed it in the chat. Okay. Well, we'll continue on, and there is another statement which I would like to hear your opinion about, which is never have I ever resigned from a job without having another job lined up. So basically, switching from one workplace to another one, but having already signed the contract for your next job. Has that ever happened to you?
I guess somewhat. I didn't have another job lined up, but I had an internship lined up at a hospital that I was just going to try out. So I quit my job
Okay.
to do that.
So you basically had already the second option lined up and ready to go. So you resigned from
Yes.
one. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It
Anyone
was
else?
volunteer work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, volunteer work is. I don't know if it's relevant to this, but it's more. The question is more to do about the actual job, which you're getting paid for. It's a contract, fixed term, like whatever. It's just yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Anyone else?
Well, I think for me, I've had, funny enough, many times where I would like quit my job without having another job ready, and I was just kind of in that moment, in that week or a few weeks, started looking. Thankfully, a lot of times I do find something quickly, and but there were moments where I didn't, and yeah, I've kind of learned to. It's better to have a job ready, set before you quit your job, because sometimes you won't have enough money to like saved up money to pay off your, things you have to pay. So yeah.
Yeah, I can fully relate to what you're saying because not having another job lined up, you basically have a delay. So there's gonna be a moment in your life when you're gonna be basically looking for a job, and during that moment, you're not gonna be receiving benefits. So yeah, that's one of the things to consider, of course. And the last question I have in mind, which of course is very controversial, but never have I ever taken a job without thoroughly researching the company's HR policies. Has anyone taken up a job position at any company or a firm which you have never read the actual HR policy and then you maybe had a problem with it? Has anyone encountered
I
something
didn't
like
read.
this in there?
I didn't reach the HR policy, but I didn't have an issue. So I mean, it was fine.
So it didn't really have any consequences on your working.
I agree. I think that
No.
most people who took a job didn't read the HR policy first, I think. But I haven't either, haven't encountered that. I thought from I didn't read the HR policy, but I didn't agree on it. So I agree with Malachi.
So you didn't agree on the HR policy of the company, but you continued working for it, basically. This is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that is that's something to consider, of course. HR policies vary from company to company, and I guess if you do not agree with them, but still you agree with the pay rates, you agree with other things, well, that's something that you can leave off. So that's everything for the little icebreaker activity. We'll jump into the next one, which is going to be Daniel presenting the theory parts.
Yes. Thank you, Nikita. That was a really
Thank you
fun
very much.
icebreaker. So before we start, a lot of our topics comes from the Great Resignation. And so I'll first be informing you, for those who don't know, what is the Great Resignation? So the Great Resignation was a sort of, I don't want to use, I'll use this word. I was going to use pandemic, but it was a phenomenon occurring during or the late stages of the pandemic or in the wake of it, where a lot of people were quitting their jobs, they were leaving work, and they were actually in search for something better, right? And I think maybe if you worked in retail or in any sort of service sector job, maybe you participated in the Great Resignation, because I know I personally did when I was working at the McDonald's. And so during one of the struggles when it comes to the Great Resignation is that because so many people were leaving their jobs, were unsatisfied, there was a great demand for new employees, and unemployment was at an all-time low. And obviously that has like negative effects on our economy because, as you know, if people are not working and they're not making any profit or income, then they don't spend it back in the economy. And so it's like self prophecy that you're just going to destroy the economy. But then we go on to like, okay, so how can we, as for example, HR department, deal with this issue? And it's by realizing that one of the causes of the Great Resignation was that people felt sorry, a lot of people felt undervalued, underpaid, and overworked. These were like one of the main causes for people leaving the Great Resignation. And so for us, we took that as information that, okay, how can we deal with this as a company? We thought from the HR's perspective is that by implementing well-rounded trainings, appraisals in which we communicate with the employees, or an example, maybe someone else can relate, where your boss would frequently, or your manager would frequently have discussion with you on your performance. What do you think of the company? What are things that could be improved upon? By taking your consideration into their training assessment, they can then implement better training, better well-rounded company culture in which every employee feels valued and empowered to keep working, right? Because no one actually wants to work just a normal job where they feel undervalued, underpaid, and overworked. So I'm grabbing a little bit of resources actually, because according to a study from Paychecks and Future Workplace, among 603 full-time workers, found 62% of employers identified well-being as a key factor in deciding whether to apply for a new job. So again, during the Great Resignation, a lot of people were looking for new jobs, they're quitting their old jobs. And because of that, they started to consider, okay, I don't want to go back in that old system because I felt undervalued, underpaid, and overworked. And so it showed that 62% of people were actually now using this information or that experience as an indicator of whether or not to go when looking for a job. And this was especially true for Gen Z, according to the study, where 67% strongly agreed that well-being benefits will be a priority for them in evaluating new job offers. And so for now, I kind of want to break off and maybe ask you, the audience, do you relate to this in any shape or form? Do you guys have ever, during let's say the last year, 2 last years after the pandemic, have you maybe quit a job because you thought, yo, you know what, this is not worth it? So this is a question to the audience. If you could relate to leaving your job during the Great Resignation.
Yes, I have definitely experienced that, where I quit my job because I thought this is not worth the effort that I'm putting in. I think maybe other people have also experienced that.
Yeah, I've quit the job because I thought I could do something better with my time as well, I think.
Very well.
Nice. All right. All right. Anyone else?
Was that also because of the money that you got included in the comparing that with the workload?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, indeed. No. All right. Perfect. If no one else has any similar stories to share, no worries. And so one of the things we realized, one of the best way to combat this is that many people didn't feel like Malachi and Thomas shared, they didn't feel like what they were putting in, what they were receiving back. And that's why well-being benefits are very crucial to any company culture or work environment, especially for professionals or young professionals or people who are working, especially in this generation now. is that well-being benefits are one of the key ways companies can empower their employees to actually enjoy the work they're doing, but also to give them back something worth their while. And because a lot of people might first think, oh, let me just raise the pay. But if that's, it's been shown that not only are they interested in pay, but they're also interested in financial training, in mental health subsidies or assistance at work, and other sort of services and trainings to help them outside of work. Well-being benefits being one of the key factors as well in any company to give access to employees to keep on developing and grow in that company or in that sector. Because as we know, not everyone is the same. Each one of us has different needs, different livelihoods, different, we all come from different situations, diverse backgrounds. And so it's very important that for any company to not create a sort of one set meets all policy, because you're going to have situations where people are not going to fit into that and are still going to leave, even though you have well-being benefits included in your pay or company.
Daniel, do you think that employee well-being benefits which haven't been paid during the period of the COVID-19 pandemic should be fully reimbursed after the pandemic ended?
I don't think so, mostly because not all companies have implemented this into their contracts. So they're not really legally binded to do so. Obviously, now it's been a key factor, and a lot of companies are starting to implement well-being benefits more. But I don't think, a reimbursement.
So it's more to do with the implementation of those benefits inside the work contracts.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So next slide, please. Yes, as I was saying, because everyone comes from a different background with different needs, it's very important to have key areas of when it comes to well-being benefits. For example, when it comes to security benefits, retirement benefits, financial, healthcare, family, time off, and miscellaneous benefits. This can include having, it seems a bit ridiculous, but it does kind of help having maybe pizza parties at work after a shift. Or this can also include better insurance when it comes to if you're a disabled worker, or help with your education. If you're, for example, your jobs give special programs that may assist you in your education for a job or for any other career you want to take on. These different types of diverse well-being benefits can keep and retain employees at your job, but also helping to grow and foster a great work culture. And so the net benefit being, because your employees are happy, they feel empowered, they feel that their needs are being met, or they're more than their basic needs are being met, they're willing to give more back to the company, and that leads to higher turnovers or profit for everyone. Next slide, please. So yeah, just to summarize, how people work without well-being benefits. A lot of times people will struggle with their mental health and well-being, maybe because they're not getting all the needs they need to fully, be active and committed to what they're doing. They might have difficulty achieving work-life balance, whether that be enough travel distance, having to pay for the increasing high gas, for example, or decreased job satisfaction because they don't feel like the work they're putting in, the hard work, labor they're investing is being rewarded or is being represented back into their payment, plus their well-being benefits. And of course, this will lead to lower turnover. And in contrast to how people will work with well-being benefits included into their package, they feel more valued, more supported, improve work-life balance, increase engagement because they feel, oh, the company sees me, cares for me, is attending to my specific needs, whether I be a single mother, someone with a disability, or even an elderly employee. And because of that, this enhances their job satisfaction, meaning more quality labor and more intensity when it comes to their work. and so promoting more retention where people will stay longer at their work and help the company grow. Thank you. I'll be passing the word now to Thomas.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, so the role playing, everybody. I hope you're up for some fun because these are very nice situations. Well, actually, not nice situations, but difficult situations for a HR manager. And in this situation, you are the HR manager and you have to fix this situation. Well, let's get immediately into it. I would like you all to, or if you really want to speak up, you can definitely unmute yourself and speak up, or you can just write something in the chat if you don't really feel like speaking up. So I'm gonna tell a situation to you, and you are gonna give me the like the answer or how you would act as the HR manager. So the first one is that a new employee has just been given the job, and he just started, and he's struggling very much to adapt to his new role. And he's just not working good enough for the company, but you do definitely want to give him a chance. How would you encourage this person to work better and be more suitable for the role he has been given? Was that clear for everybody, the situation? So there's a new person, he does not do enough, he does not really probably understand really much how the job is being done while it has been explained to him. How are we going to make sure he's going to deliver work?
Uh,
So he understands how the job is supposed to be done. Oh.
Yeah,
So that
he is supposed to work as a proper worker, and he is just not delivering what we expected from him. And we want to make sure that he, well, and my question is to you: how are you going to make sure that he is going to do this?
maybe talk to him about consequences and tell him that if he doesn't do his job properly, that he'll have to be replaced potentially.
Okay, very good. And would you put a time frame on this? Would you give him like boundaries, or would you think that is
It
too?
really depends on like how much work he's done, right? If he does no work, then yes. If he does some work, then maybe not. It really depends.
Okay. Does everyone agree to this?
well, I would do it a bit differently.
Okay.
I would hook him up to a most likely some sort of buddy to help him out with the position and try to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Maybe for like a
okay.
week or two, depending on the period of how long they have for determining if they are fit for the job, of course.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Has anyone experienced this in the past where they just had a job and they really tried to do their best, but they just couldn't fit in? And then the HR manager or a kind of manager there did something to make you feel welcome?
Yeah, I had an experience when I used to work in a restaurant as assistant chef. I got the permission of the HR manager within the restaurant to actually invent and make up a dish with the chef alongside with him for the menu. And this, of course, yeah, brought a lot of benefits for the restaurant and for me as an employee too. So
Okay.
that's one of my experiences.
Very well. That's good. Okay, let's go on to the next one then. The next one, an employee has a chronic fatigue illness and is struggling to manage their workload. This person delivers way less work than the usual person is, and you're about to fire him. How are you going to make sure that this person is going to accommodate their needs, and how will you make sure that they ensure to still perform their job duties while they still have this chronic fatigue illness?
It's a very interesting question.
Are you even allowed to do that? Wait, like, are you allowed to fire someone? Did they get the disease when they were
No,
already working
it's
there,
already.
or
It was clear that he got this disease while he was when he was applying for the job. But as the HR manager, you didn't think it would be a problem. But now he just needs breaks from hours during the work, and he just doesn't turn up for certain days because he's just too tired to do this. And how are you gonna fix this as a HR manager that he still can work for the company, but deliver more.
Oh, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know if that's doable.
Sorry, if that's doable, you said. Well, what I was thinking
Yes,
about
yeah.
to answer myself is maybe talk about if you would deduct his time frame from a full-time job to a part-time job, in the sense of that you would make it more fitable in his life, maybe make him work 3 or 4 hours to every day, and let him do the same work, but then deduct it and give a part of his work to a colleague. Don't know how
But
you guys would think about that.
does his money then get deducted, or does he
Yeah,
will
well, this is definitely you cannot pay him for the same amount of money. So it's of course difficult to let him be paid for the same amount of money, but you have to also look in the eyes of the company's protectors.
Yeah, I think you have a good point there. I think I would go in talk with this employee and come to a solution with the two of us, and yeah, just be nice and fair and open to each other in order to get something you both want. So yeah, it's a difficult
it's a valid
situation.
point.
It is, of course, yes.
I think it also it's also related to the type of contract this employee was going to receive. As you said, he was about to get the job with the chronic illness, of course, and as he couldn't make up for the shifts, the HR has to do something about him being the employee of the company. So if he would have
Yeah,
had
that's of course.
not a fixed term contract, but a contract for 3 months, say, as a probationary period, he would then, of course, the employer can just fire him without having any consequences, or without being being insured to pay him benefits throughout some time in his life. So yeah, it also depends on the type of contract he receives, I think,
Absolutely,
in
absolutely.
this regard. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that one. Then the next one is a very difficult situation. I actually experienced that with my sister herself. A pregnant woman is feeling very nauseous constantly, and that's why she doesn't deliver the work she used to do. And she has requested to start her maternity leave 2 months early. She is very important for the company, but she said that if she will not be compromised in the sense she will quit her job. How will you act on this? It's a very difficult one, of course.
I think if she's that valuable to the company, then it makes sense to then give her the leeway that she requires in order to keep her.
Okay. And would you fully give her the 2 months, or would you like compensate? Say, okay, you can maybe work for part-time for the first period, and then in the end you can get a month off.
Sure, I'll try to negotiate. I won't straight away give away, but I think if she really insists on it, I would give her the 2 months.
Okay. Does everyone agree to this?
Yes, I do.
I agree as
Well,
well.
I will tell you the situation where my sister was in. She did ask so, and she did get fired in the end. While she was very high in the company, she did work her ass off for years. But this company could just not afford to pay her for the 2 months. So I do understand. Of course, it's very not respectful to her that she has been fired and that they didn't really negotiate to try and make it good for her. But it was just not affordable option for the company to be paying her for 2 months early maternity leave, which you of course you can think about in the feet of that HR manager. It would have been a difficult situation because it's the employee well-being benefits. You really choose that below the money. But if if my sister was very important for the company, I would have always chosen her because in the future that will pay off, because the hiring of a new person will also cost you money, of course. So it's a difficult situation. So on to the next one. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to agree with that. That hiring a new person is going to be more expensive for the company.
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
it's good.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. So two more. This one is a certain team has been experiencing a high level of conflict and low moral, and they're way less motivated than usual. And how would you, easily saying, try to improve the team's dynamic and motivation?
Can you repeat your question again, please?
So you have, let's say, okay, let's say a
Oh, the
sales team.
situation. Sorry, not the
Yeah, the
question.
situation. Yeah, of course, of course. The way you have a sales team, this sales team is selling, 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 and all of a sudden, in February, there are hardly any sales, and they're just demotivated. They want to take longer breaks. They want to just stop work early, this and that. How are you going to make sure that this team is back on ball again?
Well, I think that paying a higher salary to those workers, and well, money can be a motivator for some people, but for others, it can be actually a demotivator because then the person becomes even more lazy as soon as he gets the money. So yeah, I think it depends on the type of employees and also your like well, your whole like ethical structure within your company and how your specific business motivates your employees to perform as good as they can. And it all, yeah, as I said before, it varies from organization to organization, and depending on its structure and depending on its policies, there are going to be set parameters which they can implement and use in order to motivate a specific worker to perform better. And of course, if that doesn't work, the last but not least is firing that employee. And yeah, as I mentioned before, it also depends on the contracts because not a lot of employees will give a long-term like fixed contract for a guy which they met 1 week ago. They will normally start off with a short-term contract for 2 or 3 months, which is going to be the probationary period. So if the worker is not motivated during that time, they can easily fire him without any legal consequences, without having paying the benefits to the worker afterwards either. So yeah, it's a very good point.
Okay.
I think to motivate them, you need to set them or they're in like sales, set targets, aim for goals, and if they achieve that goals and reward them, maybe not with money but with something else, try to motivate them to make sales, to um yeah, to improve their game actually.
Okay, very good, very good. I was agreeing to both of you. Dennis, yes, also in rewarding, I've experienced that in the past. When you DC something at the end of the tunnel, you really want to get there earlier, and you want to do your best, of course. If you see something to be rewarded for, you will. And it doesn't have to be in money wise because people are being paid already. You could do it like in an outing, in a group outing. You can reward them on a certain way. Yeah, definitely. Okay, on to the last one. A person has come to you with a complaint of harassment from a co-worker. This person wants to be taken very serious or she will leave the company. How would you handle the situation and what steps would you take to ensure the complaint is resolved?
Would
What type
anyone
of
else in
harassment
the
is
chat
it?
would like to contribute?
It's a verbal harassment. She has been badly treated by her co-workers, by her co-worker, one worker, and this is not the first time that you've heard this information on the co-worker. The person is not nice and is a bit selfish towards other workers.
Uh, really, I guess I think I wouldn't allow that. I wouldn't necessarily tolerate that. I'd have to talk and sit down with the person and explain them that what they're doing is, not okay. And if they continue to do that, then maybe threaten them with consequences.
Okay. Okay. Does everyone agree? Would it
Yeah,
be
maybe
more
maybe also could
ethically
be a
just to
letter
fire
of
the
warning.
person? Sorry?
Maybe a letter of warning can be one of the solutions to this too. So not threatening, but warning someone nicely.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sure that the other person feels better in their situation, then it would be a good yeah, because you have to, of course, in this situation, choose the person who feels attacked above the other person. So if that even concludes, I would say in firing that other person, that has to be done for the well-being of the company, but you cannot do that immediately. Of course, you have to hear every side of the story.
I think for me, how I would solve this, looking from the point of view of well-being benefits, that ultimately you want your employees to feel, valued and safe and empowered. I think from an HR perspective, I would then bring them a sort of training, a special training when it comes to how you communicate with your colleagues, because maybe this person, let's say the person who's feels or is the victim in the situation, it's maybe took it too personally, and then for example, if you compare it with other, if you are there or when you sit down and talk with the employees, you know, let's say policy wise, it doesn't fall under, like verbal abuse, but that employee does feel like it does. So I think I would bring them to like a special training when it comes to how you communicate with your colleagues to maybe resolve the problem. And then ultimately, yeah, if the training doesn't go well, I would then maybe add a sort of extra on-body mentorship training where you have like a manager or someone else supervising them, and giving them special scenarios to act out and see how they would resolve it according to the, let's say, the company's goals and mission statements. And then lastly, if none of that works, obviously we want our whole culture to be a safe place. You would ultimately have to let the employee go that's maybe causing the verbal abuse.
Very
For
well, very
me,
well said.
yeah, I think I agree with Daniel eyes there, but I want to add something more. Like we can organize an outdoor activity so that we can everyone can join together, communication and interact each other. And we also can organize in some special events. So like we can organize their birthday, and other people can come and give a gifts, a wish, and then everyone can change their mindset about others, because
Yes.
yeah, because before they think that that people is bad to them. So we can organize some activity. So after some activity or event, they can change their mindset, their mind about other people, because they have a different activity, a good experience with others. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for your actions and responses. Very, very thoughtful. On to the next slide, I think then.
Yes. So to continue, I want to tell you some the problem statement. As Daniel said before, we have 60% of employees identify well-being benefit as growth factor, and 67% strongly agree that the well-being benefits is a priority for them to finding a new job, and 80% employees want support from the employer in personal finance, and give them some advice, and give them respectful. In the chart, in this slide, a new research center survey find that low pay and lack of opportunity for advancement and feeling disrespected at work are the top reason why American employees quit their job last year. And the survey also find that those who quit and are now employed where else are more likely than not to say their current job has better pay. So more opportunity for advancement and more work-life balance and flexibility can make people feel satisfied in their job. Can you next slide, please? Yeah, so we have some case study here.
Just to interrupt, maybe after this slide, give a small 2 minute, 3 minute break to everyone to refresh in their minds.
Yeah.
After this slide, if yes, good.
Okay. So in this case study, we have some company that have successful implement employee well-being benefits. In the Google company, Google approach to employees well-being benefit is comprehensive and consider various aspects of their employee life by offering a range of benefits that address physical, mental, and emotional health, as well as work-life balance. Google has been able to create a positive and supportive work environment for their employees. And also seen in LinkedIn, the company provide employee well-being benefits is comprehensive and addressing a wide range of needs and provide employees with a supportive environment that foster well-being by providing employees with opportunity to prioritize their health and financial. LinkedIn has been able to create a positive and productive environment, working environment for their employees. And the company Patagonia, they approach well-being benefit for employees by uh, provide them flexible schedule, align and align with company values with employees' values. Also, they prioritize their work-life balance, physical and mental health. Employees were employees is given many opportunity to be outdoors, engage in wellness activity and care for, and they also have some subsidy benefits for their families. The company can create a positive, also supportive working environment for the employees. Yes, so maybe now we can have a break for 5 minutes.
We were wondering if people were feeling like a break was necessary. We can also just go ahead do the quiz. How would you think about that, Malashi?
I don't necessarily need a break. You guys are presenting actually, so you
Well,
guys should tell
because
me
now
if you need
because
a
you
break.
are the main attender, you are making the choice. So we're going
If
ahead to the quiz.
someone needs a break, let us know now. Otherwise, we will start the quiz. But you can take a few minutes break, grab a drink or a snack, and then we're gonna play a quiz. You see a link in the PowerPoint. Go to that link on your cell phone and just wait till then. We'll wait till we get started.
Okay. So,
I have sent the link in the chat, so it's oh yeah, nice. We did this fast time. Perfect.
So The link is in the chat. I hope you join the quiz. There is a special prize for the winner. We're not gonna tell you what, but I think you want to win the prize.
Can you
So
show
play the
the
quiz.
link one more time? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to join.
Can you see the link in the chat description?
Yeah.
Maybe you can click on that. It's easier. Or otherwise,
The link is working for me.
someone having problems with the link?
Yeah, can you show it one more time, please? Actually, I have to
Yeah.
type it in my computer.
I'll send it.
Okay.
I send it to the chat.
Oh, perfect.
So everyone everyone joined the quiz, or we're still waiting for someone? Please let us know now.
Yeah, you're still waiting for me.
All right.
Because I left and came back because of my internet, I don't see the link in the chat. Actually, if you can just send it again, please.
I'll send it to
Maybe-
you via WhatsApp.
Okay, very good.
Perfect. Okay, I'm in.
Okay, so we're waiting for no one. Everyone is in.
Yes.
All right. Now we'll start the quiz. We start off with an easy question, just like test. I don't think everyone is familiar with this app. So employee rights are important. I will go on to the next slide, and you have like 30 to 35 seconds to answer the question. But I think with the first question, you don't need that much time, but let's go. So true or false, what will be the answer? What do you think, Thomas?
I had difficulties with this one, but
All right,
I
I
ended
think
up putting in true.
all right, okay, let's go to the answer. The answer is true.
Oh,
Ooh,
someone made a mistake there.
someone made maybe a clicking mistake. Okay, we'll now go on to the leaderboard. By the way, the quiz is skill based, but also like how fast you can answer the question. So Julian is in first right now because he gave the right answer and he did it faster than the rest. Okay, going on to the next question. Now we're getting serious. Signs that an employee is struggling with personal well-being can include what? Now we'll go on to the answer possibilities. Decline in personal care, withdrawal or isolation, increased agitation, or all of the above. "20 seconds left. I think it's more than enough. I believe we have get all answers, so we go to the result, and the answer is all of the above. 82% had the right answer, so that's really great to see. Going on to the leaderboard. Julian is still in first. He's aiming for that top prize you can win. Let's go on to the next question. What are the 4 stages of the progressive discipline process? Going on to the answer possibilities. Take your time. There are 4 options: discharge, suspension, verbal caution, and written reprimand. But which is the correct order? Who can tell me? I think it's a bit of a difficult question, but try to think logically. 10 seconds left. Still missing some answers. All right. The answer is verbal caution, written reprimand, suspension, and then discharge. 33% of the people gave the right answer. So that means that 2/3 of the people didn't give. What does this gonna do with the leaderboards? Wanna know. Julien is
Julian,
still in
oh,
first. He's doing
Wow.
all right. Going on to the next question. True or false? Due to privacy issues, employers should avoid conducting health culture audits or serving their employees about wellness plan interests. True or false? Almost everyone has answered already. I'm gonna give you another like 10 seconds. We're gonna see the answer. The answer is false. 60% of the people had it right.
did Julian have it right? Is the big question.
That's the big
Yeah.
question now. Does Julian have the right answer? We're gonna see in a moment. Oh
Oh,
no.
never mind, CJ.
Okay.
CJ and the leader.
Carlos is in first now.
Is back in town.
Julian's still in second, so we're
Never
still
write
gonna see
yourself
what's
off.
gonna happen. Going on to the next question. Which one of the absenteeism control actions, what is one of the absenteeism control actions? I beg your pardon. Paid time off programs, illness verifications, or trackers in work laptops.
Oof.
I think it's more of an easy question, but we will see the result in a moment. 2 seconds left. Some people change their answers in the very last moment. That's because there were 2 good answers. Trackers in work laptops. Yeah, that isn't a good answer, of course. That is not will not go in hand with the privacy, of course. So yeah, going on to the leaderboard. Who's in first now? All right. We kind of have like a top tier leaderboard. The first 2, 3 are 3, 4 are going for the W. Okay, going on to the next question. In addition to reducing healthcare costs, implementing programs to improve employee well-being can also result in which of the following? Going on to the answer possibilities. Improved employee morale, increased staff turnover, greater presentism, or all of the above? Still waiting for some answers. 10 seconds left. All right, time is up. Let's go to the answer. The answer is improved employee morale. Not all of the above, what the most of the people thought. So going on to the leaderboard. Ooh, Carlos and Julian are battling up front. We'll go on to the next question. A simple question, but try to answer it quickly to gain more points. Maybe. What are policies? General guidelines that focus organizational actions, customary methods of handling activities, specific guidelines that regulate and restrict the behavior of individuals. 20 seconds left. Still some people need to answer the question. And the time is up. And the answer, of course, is general guidelines that focus organizational actions. 33% of the people gave the right answer. All right. Okay. Let's go to the battle up front to Carlos and Julian. Who is in first now? They both had it
Ooh.
wrong. So Nikita is battling his way
Yeah,
up.
I'm trying to.
But Nikita is in our team, so I think he hasn't he can't win the prize. So let's go on to the next question. Which of the following is a sign that an organization's culture might be undermining the mental well-being of its employees? Going on to the answer possibilities. Establishing clear working hours, addressing individuals who consistently work long hours and regular overtimes, avoiding discussions of mental health in the workplace, or encouraging outlets for employees to discuss topics that are not work related. 15 seconds on the clock. Five seconds
May I say
remaining.
I'm enjoying the quiz very much.
It's a really nice quiz, yeah.
Going on to the answer. Avoiding discussions of mental health in the workplace. 56% of the people gave the right answer. I'm happy to see that. So we'll go on to the leaderboard.
Let's go.
Ooh, Julian regained the lead. We have
Alright.
only a few questions left, I believe. I didn't count it, but I think we can still have another winner. But Julian has good papers to win this HRM quiz. Going on. Which are two files that belong to the employee's record file? So the employee record file, I'm going to tell you, it's like four files that that needs to be in there. Every HRM has an employee record file, and we want you to give us two of them, and the answer possibilities are medical and confidential, historical and family, family and current, or medical and family. Don't answer too quickly because you might want to consider all answers properly. 15 seconds left. Almost everyone gave their answer already. 5 seconds. All right, going on to the answer. What is the answer of this question? It is medical and confidential. 56% of the people gave the right answer. That's I thought it was a difficult question. So very good job, guys. Going on to the leaderboard. Is Julian still the leader? Yes, of course he is. He has a 700-point lead over Carlos.
Carlos is
So
breathing in his neck. He is.
going on.
I think we can close the quiz now.
Are we running on time?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So
How many
I think
questions are still left in the quiz? Can you check?
we
I
start
believe
late, so we
I
can.
believe this is the last question.
Yeah, that's fine.
Presentism or coming to work while sick is heavily influenced by what? The perception of faking an illness, lack of paid time off, poor access to healthcare services, of none of the above. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. We need to speed up a bit. All right, I believe everyone gave their answer, so we close the votes right now. And the correct answer is lack of paid time off. 40% of the people gave the right answer. Going on to the leaderboard, and the winner of this quiz
Julian.
is Julian. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
How did you know all the
Amazing.
answers, Julian? Did you
No
have
need to
insights
give
on
your
on the
prize
quiz?
I'm just very good at HR.
Wow. Congratulations. Okay. Can you still see my screen, everyone? Or do you see
Yes.
do you see the
Yes.
quiz or the PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint with the
PowerPoint.
quiz.
All right, going on to the last stage. Thomas will talk you to the closing
Okay,
remarks.
just to summarize what we've been talking about for the closing remarks, we really wanted to tell you what employees want, and that's of course a financial well-being. I think everyone really wants that. An emotional, mental health well-being might, into a lot of situations, even be more important than the financial well-being, because you can earn a lot, but if you're not happy where you're working, you're not happy, and that can cause stress or burnouts. It has to be a proper work-life balance supports, and the work should be also supporting that, and HR should be making sure that that is properly fixed at every worker. A lot of the, opportunities should be available for your career development. It should be a secure and a safe workplace for people, and flexible. That's what the future is, of course. Flexible work, not 9 to 5 work, but more flexibility on the workforce. And how can employers, or mainly HR employers, try and offer this for these people? They can give a security benefits. They can give retirement benefits, which can motivate people to work harder, to stay more in that emotional mental health being where we're talking about. Healthcare should be always properly provided, in the sense of when you come somewhere to work. It's very important to have a proper healthcare. Family benefits, financial benefits, time of benefits, all can be very important for the emotional and mental well-being, and also miscellaneous benefit and financial benefits. For some people, financial benefits are more important. For some people, emotional mental health well-being is more important. But that's onto them, and it's also onto the HR manager to definitely see this in the person, and see how they can benefit the person in question, to let them stay motivated and let them stay happy in the workforce.
All right, going on. We want to thank you all for attending this workshop.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure. Are there still any questions left? We have a short period left to answer your questions. So, yeah.
I guess it was all very clear for everybody. I would like to do the attendance for people. I saw that Manashi was here. That was awesome. Thank you for your proper attendance. You were very helpful. Chris Ploegmakers was there. Julian joined in. Carlo, Ivo, Natasha, Shannon, and Gerard, and Jack joined in. That's very good. Thank you everyone for
Natasha
being
was
here.
there as well.
Yeah, Natasha was there. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
And
thank you very much to
I
everyone
think
who
Yeah.
joined.
Kevin was there as well. Kevin was there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's very good. That's very good. Thank you all for being there. I hope you enjoyed it. For the group assessment, I think everyone did do as much work as they could, and we divided the tasks properly. So I think the beginning part with the icebreaker was mostly done by Nikita. Then you, of course, heard Daniel speaking, showing the information. Then I took over Thomas um, for the role playing. Then Huyen did some information telling on the background, and then it was a quiz at the end by Dennis. So it was a very well spreaded for the information and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Yes.
Thank you
Kuya,
for
please stop
everyone.
the recording.
Yes.